This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Suspect held in Trelawny farmer's murder. The Trelawny police have confirmed the arrest of one of the main suspects in the murder of an elderly farmer whose charred remains were discovered in Clarkstown about 1 p.m. on Monday. We have managed to apprehend one of the suspects, and we are now in the process of getting a confession from him in the presence of his attorney, after which he will be charged, a senior cop told the news yesterday. The identity of the suspect is being withheld until he has been officially charged with the murder of 63-year-old Winston Manor Stewart of Mac Hill District, also in Clarkstown. Reports are that sometime afternoon on Sunday, Stewart left home to tend to his cows at his farm at a Walker Peace in a section of Mac Hill. When he did not return home as customary, concerned relatives made a report to the Clarkstown police. A search effort to locate the missing farmer ended in horror on Monday afternoon when the team stumbled upon Stewart's burnt remains at a woodland farm owned by a suspect. Preliminary investigations led to the arrest of one of the suspects. 2 other men implicated in the gruesome murder remain at large. Stewart's common-law wife for more than 4 decades, Melrose Gordon, told the news that he was a peaceful individual, expressing regret at the gruesome manner in which he died. "Him is a quiet man, no make no trouble, so I don't know what them kill him for," the distraught woman related. "Him was here Sunday and him left and say, him a go walk a piece, go look pon him animal them. When him a go round, we call him phone and him answer and say, him just a go in a the bush. Him just a go in a walk a piece. After we know say him supposed to dey come round, we call him back and him no answer. The phone only a ring and it come in like somebody take the phone from him and lock it off," she continued. She said that the men suspected to have murdered her common-law husband were well known to him, adding that he would often give them food. "I don't know why them woulda want kill him. One of them especially eat out of him hand. But him tell me that them have some animal which a eat down him ground," she said, adding that Stewart had recently asked one of the suspects, a father, to speak with him about the animals. Stewart is the 5th person to be murdered in Trelawny since the start of the year. Man killed, teen among injured in Spanish Town attack. Gunmen firing indiscriminately inside a shop along Featherbed Lane in Spanish Town Tuesday night killed 1 man and injured 2 others, including a 15-year-old Ascot High schoolboy who is hospitalized in serious condition. The incident, which occurred about 9:15 p.m., resulted in the death of 58-year-old laborer Desmond Beckford of Martin Street in Spanish Town. Residents said that Beckford and the 15-year-old were collateral damage because they were not believed to have been the targets. Reports are that Beckford, who operated a soup business at the front of the shop, was standing in the shop when a man who was being chased by 2 gunmen sought cover. The attackers reportedly fired rounds in all directions. The 15-year-old, who had gone to purchase food for his mother, was on his way out of the shop when he was hit multiple times in the lower body. Beckford was pronounced dead at hospital and the other 2 admitted. The teenager underwent surgery. "And a soupy and the youth them want, but them just at the wrong place at the wrong time," said one man who asked not to be identified. "I just left the shop and by the time I reach my gate, me hear a whole heap of shot," he added. Another man who lives near to the shop pointed to a bullet hole in the concrete column of his gate, suggesting that he would have been hit if he was standing at his usual spot. "Me just left my gate and go inside and then me hear all the shot them a go off. Me I tell you, if me was standing at my usual spot, you wouldn't able to talk to me," he said. The mother of the student, who lives less than 200 meters from the crime scene, said she had heard the shots but never believed that her son could have been caught in the attack. He is the first of 5 children. "They come for 1 man and they have to shoot my son," she said, with tears rolling down her cheeks. The mother, who requested anonymity, lamented the distress traumatic incidents caused 4 families. "I am just praying that he pulls through," she said. St. Elizabeth teacher suspected of committing suicide. Police are probing a suspected case of suicide involving a high school teacher at his home in Malvern on Wednesday afternoon. He has been identified as Garfield Dennis, a construction teacher at the B.B. Coke High School in Junction, St. Elizabeth. It is reported that the police were alerted about 4:45 p.m. that Dennis's lifeless body was found hanging from the ceiling of his woodwork shop at the front of his yard. It is said that Dennis left a suicide note. In 2010, he survived a near-death experience as he was stabbed in the back by a male student at his school. Opposition calls on government to fix NSWMA. The People's National Party has called on the Ministry of Local Government and the Community Development, Desmond McKenzie, to urgently address the negligence of the National Solid Waste Management Authority and protect the health and safety of citizens. In a release yesterday, the opposition stated that the NSWMA, which falls under Minister McKenzie's governance, has shirked its responsibility to maintain a sanitary environment for Jamaicans and has not shown any convincing indication that there will be improvements in the near future. Opposition spokesperson on local government and community development and a member of Parliament for St. Catherine Eastern, Denise Daly, stated that the overflowing of garbage and the waste uncollected in communities across the island is damaging to the health and safety of all Jamaican citizens. We will not sit and allow the mismanagement to continue. I appeal to the Minister and the management of the NSWMA to get their act together, Daly said. Daly added that she has made representation to the Minister in Parliament as recently as last year and has only received the promises but no action to date. She expressed that the flooding which occurred in several parishes across the eastern belt of the island highlighted the gross mismanagement of the country's garbage disposal and the drain cleaning program. Work needs to be carried out on drainage systems nationally, especially in areas prone to flooding. We must design contingency plans to mitigate disasters such as these, said Daly. She added that we all are aware that the NSWMA needs additional service units to manage the magnitude of work it has to do. But why is this matter being treated with a scant regard? How long did it take the organization to realize that units were needed? How long did it take for the approval to be granted for the procurement of these units? Why is the government continuing to put the health and the safety of Jamaican citizens at risk? The opposition is demanding that the government approaches this matter with alacrity and clean up the country once and for all. St. Mary flood damage could amount to hundreds of millions of dollars, said Mayor. The losses are mounting in St. Mary in the aftermath of heavy rainfall over the last 2 days. Richard Creary, chairman of the St. Mary Municipal Corporation, says the damage is significant and estimates that the repair bill will amount to hundreds of millions of dollars. The extent of the damage emerged on Wednesday as cleanup operations intensified at homes, businesses, and along streets in the capital, Port Maria, where the rains wreaked havoc. This is the worst flood I have experienced in Port Maria, and Port Maria is where I was born and grown. I am 52 years old now, and I have never seen this before, he explained. Unlike previous instances of flooding that have affected only certain areas of the town center, the mayor noted that this time the flooding was more extensive, affecting the entire town. He believes that inadequate drainage, compounded by the expansion of informal settlements, resulted in the massive flooding in the parish capital. Port Maria is below sea level, so we have drainage issues. There are some particular drains that have been built from probably before I was born. Now you have more houses, more water being sent into the town of Port Maria, the mayor reasoned. He added that a pond that would have collected water and prevented flooding of the town in the past has been captured, and the persons have dumped up that area, so there is no catchment area for the water. Mr. Creary said while businesses try to salvage items from the damage, an assessment is underway and the government has promised to provide grants to small business operators who suffered losses. The Ministry of Social Security is to provide relief supplies such as mattresses and food to residents in a number of flooded communities, including Warner Street and the Port Maria housing scheme. Parish Manager Charmaine White McFarlane said 3 teams from the ministry have been assessing the damage. While she could not give a timeline, she said the residents will also receive monetary assistance. Government urged to promote competition in energy sector. As Jamaicans continue to grapple with rising electricity bills, the government is being urged to move faster in promoting competition in the energy generation business. Opposition spokesman on energy, Philip Polwell, has said despite the move towards more renewable fuels, the anticipated lower costs are not being seen. He said regulations for liquefied natural gas are needed to give more confidence to investors to enter the business. Mr. Polwell expressed disappointment at the generation procurement entity, which is tasked with undertaking procurement of new electricity generation capacity in accordance with the Electricity Act 2015. It has taken far too long to get us to another phase of procurement, especially for renewables. The last time this country went to procure for renewables was 2013. Out of that procurement, we now have Wigton Wind Farm 3, we have the Blue Mountain Wind Energy System, and we have Content Solar Plant in Clarendon. We haven't had a procurement for renewables since then, and it has to do with the slow pace of getting these things done, he complained. But Energy Minister Darrell Vaz said the GPE is at an advanced stage in developing draft rules and protocols for acquisition of new generation capacity. In my sectorial presentation in May 2021, I indicated to the public that they could expect the request for proposal within 6 months. We have experienced some delays, but it is anticipated that requests for proposals will be in place by the second quarter of 2022-2023 fiscal year, he declared. Requests for proposals should be published by September. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.